How's your GT knowledge these days, kid? Did you manage to watch the full series in the original dub yet? Did you read all the main source material, including interviews? Or are you still relying on hearsay, Reddit hate pages, and 2-minute YouTube clips for your credible GT facts? Great job. That's why I exist, to kindly share my knowledge and to make your life a living hell. In this video, we will take a look at the power of GT Goku, but not just the power, but debunk a lot of the misconceptions of the feats and displays of power in GT that have been commonly misunderstood, downplayed, and, the common one, ignored. GT Goku is far stronger than you think, and GT haters, super fanboys, they love to lie about GT or just embarrassingly show rubbish levels of analysis. Let us begin on Goku's feats and performance. First, I'm going to address the infamous and probably the most lied about crisis in GT history, the good old Super Saiyan 4 glass cut. Believe it or not, there are some people out there that don't understand this and legitimately use it as proof of Super Saiyan 4's power, immediately making Raditz or even Yajirobe stronger. Yes, that's what they believe. And if they don't believe it, they play this card to crack a joke when their actual Dragon Ball knowledge is backed into a corner. What they don't realize is the narrative purpose of this scene. So taking you back, Goku had the crap beat out of him all day by the remaining Shadow Dragons. Goku was on the bare bones of his ass, and Omega pummeled him even more. The glass cut on Goku's beaten ass was a dramatic cinematic moment to emphasize he's destroyed from all the fighting, he is digging deep, like Rocky. If you want to take this moment seriously in regards to power, ignoring everything else that's gone on in GT, what you should actually be is actually impressed by this glass cut from a technical standpoint. Think about it. Let's say Raditz is at 1200 power. He wouldn't get hurt by glass. Then how weakened, beat up, unsteady on his ki must Goku have been for glass to actually hurt his body? Yet he was still maintaining Super Saiyan 4 and still in the fight against GT's final boss. Think about it. GT Goku is so goddamn raw and that much of a master of ki and stamina and everything that he still held on to Super Saiyan 4 whilst being beat down to as weak as glass level for that moment. That's incredible. So next time you bring up Super Saiyan 4 is glass level to mock it, just remember you're actually praising it when you use the full context of the moment, which I doubt you do. Characters in Z and Super get hit into rocks all the time, and they get scuffs and marks from the rocks grinding against their body and face. Does that make God's pebble level now? Goku gets marked by a bullet, but does that mean he's back to bullet level? Nah, he's heavily suppressed, right? That's okay because Super Goku gets a free pass on those things. He's allowed to be suppressed, but Super Saiyan 4 Goku, beaten and broken from actually fighting, he's not allowed one moment of weakness where his energy's been hindered from being broken and beaten. No, rejected. It's GT. But it always seems to be the super fanboys who bring up these bollocks arguments and haven't got a leg to stand on when you turn the tables with credible examples. The double standards in this community, I tell you. Next time you want to laugh and misunderstand the glass cut scenario, always let it be a reminder of what GT does that Super Nintendo don't. Blood. Next up is probably the second biggest, lamest misunderstood argument I've seen in the community. The mockery of GT Goku struggling to push a skyscraper building. This is a skyscraper that can be easily in the 200,000 ton range based on an average skyscraper being around that, without interior contents or persons. And they think it's Super Saiyan 4's maximum lifting strength. Despite him 1 minute later lifting half of the goddamn city from underneath. Half of a city. And most of the earth underneath the city. Do you know the weight of that? Do you know how dense all that is? Yes, this one is great fun. I mean, struggling is the most inaccurate word they use. The truth is, the struggle was not the lift, but the worry of not killing everybody inside the building by pushing it too hard. I mean, first of all, name me a greater lifting feat of just pure lifting strength in the entirety of the Dragon Ball franchise. Go on, I'll wait. Oh, hold on. Metal Man, right? 1,000 or so tons. post-Battle of Gods, mind you, and Vegeta broke his goddamn back. How about Yardrat Vegeta deflecting an approximate 5,000 ton building, where Vegeta was stronger than the Zarbon wannabe anyway, so could obviously lift it. A building that barely looks one story of that entire skyscraper building that GT Goku pushed whilst in mid-air and nothing to push off, as compared to being on the ground like Vegeta. That doesn't weigh up in the slightest to GT. The best thing about the skyscraper building is that if you actually watch the full episode, and I know that's a struggle for you, instead of some dumb YouTube clip that's cut down, then base GT Goku actually catches the building, yes in base form, and pushes it, yes in base, whilst in the air with his tiny arms for a moment, where you see it swaying up and down, clearly showing you the base Goku held it and pushed it. He didn't even break the goddamn glass when pushing that building. You were right, guys, he definitely isn't glass level. Or maybe glass in GT is god tier, because that point of glass being pushed took the weight of the whole goddamn skyscraper. Or maybe it's Goku's amazing ki control. He's such a master of ki control, he didn't even crack the glass whilst pushing a 200,000 ton skyscraper. Think about that ki control. It's the ki control Super Saiyan Blue only dreams of. Throw a 50 times multiplier on it for Super Saiyan. It's a linear increase in strength, and these chumps think Super Saiyan 4, that's his maximum lifting strength. It's great, isn't it? So there you can see the lie straight away from those that didn't watch it properly. 200,000 tons is far above Metal Man and the one-story building on Yardrat. Even if you want to go with a lifting strength comparison, base GT Goku did in fact push it, so at bare minimum, it's 40 times more impressive than Yardrat base Vegeta dealing with that building being thrown at him. Go figure. Next, do you even know why it swayed? The skyscraper? Do you even know the point of the episode in that scene? Let me tell you, because you obviously skipped the majority of GT. That scene was about Goku and Pan acting as heroes to save the city whilst the evil dragon was trying to destroy it. They were doing superhero shit in a superhero sketch, saving the people, like Superman does. The building was swaying and Goku was being extremely careful not to kill everyone inside by a collapsing building if he pushed it forward too far. He was trying to be steady and place it back to its normal position. That's actually extremely good ki control if you think about it. Imagine Goku used his max strength and pushed that building and killed everyone. What sort of writing is that? Goku went Super Saiyan 4 for two reasons. Firstly, in the way he transformed, looking cool in the window in front of all the screaming people with his aura lit, it was for the cool factor. He looked cool. A dramatic effect that this is your hero, this is GT's hero, and the writers can show everybody this is Super Saiyan 4, the flagship of GT. He's saving everybody, yay! That's why they didn't make him go Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, whatever. Writers wanted that Super Saiyan 4 for a cinematic reason, and it did its part. Secondly, the most important reason why he went Super Saiyan 4, ki control, stability if you want to be technical, to be as safe as possible, to place the building down to a secure position, save everyone's goddamn life. Super Saiyan 4 is the most ideal form to be in action with. It's Goku's most balanced form. It's so efficient in ki control, stamina, strength. Why would he use Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3 with his tiny body when he could just become Super Saiyan 4, a full-fledged adult with ultimate power, and save all the people efficiently without taking any risks whilst acting as a hero, which was the direction of the scene. But you missed that, didn't you? The Reddit hate page is enough for you. Lifting feats have always been inconsistent and draggable anyway. The Rock as a child, the 40-ton weights in Otherworld, so even at a stretch, why would you use such a ridiculous superhero sketch scene in terms of actual combat scenarios? Because you're desperate, that's why. And if you actually paid attention to it properly, like him lifting the goddamn city from underneath, then it's actually more of an impressive lifting feat than you thought possible. But you didn't tell it right, did you? No. You lied once again. Even if you wanted to get technical, whatever multiplier you want to give to Super Saiyan 4 because the forms are a set increase of strength, then he's lifting that many more skyscrapers, at least in terms of what we saw base Goku push here for a moment. You must be so desperate for points against GT. Did Dragon Ball Super damage you that much? Go and watch your precious Dragon Ball Super and bring me the best lifting or pushing feats in terms of raw lifting strength. You'll probably start highballing the Metal Man to 1 billion tons or something shit like that. Well, they said he's over 1,000 tons. That must mean 17 quadrillion tons. Not close to 1,000. Super fanboys, I tell you. All calculations in this video are fully explained in my complete Dragon Ball GT Power Scale series on the channel, which contains hours of in-depth GT analysis, which I highly recommend you taking a look at if you want to find out the most accurate levels of power of the GT verse. I've done my best to collect and analyze all of the source material and original dialogue to give you the most definitive version of GT. Definitely check out that series, as it will answer all of your questions. I feel like it's now time to present you a bunch of Universal Plus feats that Goku is capable of to show you where he truly is. First, as discussed in episode 1 and 2, Buhan's power in the Z anime is a Universal Plus feat. If you don't believe me, check out episode 1 and 2 with the full details and definitions there. Base GT Goku has grown leaps and bounds that level of power, making him fully capable of Buhan's potential and much more. Secondly, if we do link the movieverse to GT, which is very possible, Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the Fusion Reborn movie also demonstrated a Universal Plus feat whilst powering up. Again, this is explained why it's Universal Plus in episode 1 and 2. You may not think it's Universal Plus, but I promise you, check those videos out and it will change your mind. And we know GT-based Goku is insanely beyond that Super Saiyan 3 Goku, to the point where he can easily perform Universal Plus feats over 1001 times, putting him in the multiversal range. And that's starting at the very beginning of GT in just his Super Saiyan 1 form. The insane potential with base Goku destroying a whole dimension in the Baby Saga. Sugoroku Space. This is, without a shadow of a doubt, a Universal Plus feat. Sugoroku Space is a dimension in between dimensions. The space is not a weak dimension whatsoever. In fact, the old Kai says it's a place that's beyond his limits. So if anything, Sugoroku Space is a much stronger dimension conceptually and structurally. This is Limbo, a place without a heaven or hell, or life and death. Goku one-shots it. Some love to downplay this feat and say the dimension was weak and already collapsing. This is very debunkable. The game and its contents of the space were collapsing, but the dimension was still completely strong and secure. It was still a complete standalone dimension, hence why Goku needed to use his Kamehameha to destroy it all in order to get out. It would make absolutely no sense why use that attack if the dimension was already destroying itself, which would allow him to escape anyway. No. The space inside was collapsing, the dimension was intact until Goku destroyed it all. Similar to how contents of a universe can get destroyed but the container is still there until someone busts the whole thing. This moment in GT is a Universal Plus feat and Goku performs it in base. And do you want to know how Goku got into Limbo in the first place? Baby Vegeta's Revenge Death Ball Shockwave is so powerful it makes Goku drop into different dimensions of space and time, and was even able to warp through Kibito Kai's instant teleportation to the point Goku drops into a different space-time dimension. And this is done by Super Baby 2. Think about how much stronger Goku gets from there. And this makes perfect sense that such a blast is devastating to outperform instant transmission, because GT Goku already inherits the feat to move within instant transmission, a movie that links to the GT verse, because Cooler is in GT. 2-second appearance, it doesn't matter, they still put him in there. All the villains Goku has killed. And that feat makes Goku's combat speed inaccessible. Unless you have inaccessible speed in the GT verse, you ain't hitting this guy. Goku is moving faster than no time, meaning GT Goku will forever and always move faster than those who cannot do the same feat. This is why non-canon material is great for GT. Which brings us to the Super 17 saga and another great Universal Plus feat where base Goku casually powers up and shakes heaven and hell. This is another classic feat that some people love to downplay, but the answer is as clear as day. The universe is comprised of 4 space-time continuums, shaking the dimensions that Goku did, not just shaking, but ragdolling them viciously, whilst casually powering up in base form is significantly affecting them, making it a Universal Plus feat. Definition-wise, it classes as Universal Plus, despite it not involving direct destruction. Now imagine he used the same power he did in Sugoroku Space, explosive power, not aura power. Base GT Goku is more than capable of busting the universe with explosive raw power if his casual aura significantly affects 2 infinite spacetimes. Hell also has multiple layers or realms within itself, as shown in GT. Hell itself is possibly multiple infinities. And even though I don't use use the dub for my explanations, I will plug it in here just for fun, where King Yama said a power like base GT Goku, he'll blow heaven to smithereens. And this was when Goku was in hell, so the dub of GT actually makes Goku's feat here low multiversal, just powering up in base form, not even fighting. Just think about his potential at max power in base form, and then Super Saiyan 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. It's no joke. Goku said he did it by accident. We do know that a Goku with tons of free time, non-stop training in 10 years, can grow 400 times stronger, as he did from the Buu fight to End of Z. Can we apply half of that to 5 years of non-stop training too, giving him a 200 times increase? That may be the most reliable number in terms of his power growth. The narrator also mentions Lud level 2 is inferior to Super Saiyan Goku and Trunks, so level 2 Lord Lud in terms of raw power is in between 200 times and 10,000 times Universal Plus. It's when Lud becomes level 3 after absorbing Pan that things get intense, being too much for Super Saiyan Goku and Trunks together, which is far above 10,000 times Universal, putting him in the multiversal range. All we need to know is Lud is above Super Saiyan Goku. And the Rildo arc begins, and Goku encounters the Sigma Force on planet M2 and states he's never faced a power as awesome as theirs for a while. This means the Sigma Force are comparable to Lord Lud, who Goku had fought up until that point. It took Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Trunks to barely fend off Lud. Now this new threat, the Sigma Force, is taken on by Goku alone, in base. And this would heavily imply that Goku at minimum got at least 50 times stronger in his base form in order to take on the Sigma Force, who are comparable to Lord Lud, that crushed Super Saiyan Goku months back. This makes base Goku in the Rildo arc at least 10,000 times stronger than Universal Plus, above those feats like Buhan. Still, don't mess with the Sigma Force, what an incredible power. So let's walk through Goku's power in GT quickly. All of these jumps are from Super Saiyan 3 Goku vs Kid Buu in terms of a Dragon Ball raw power increase. And then GT gets broken as hell in the Baby Saga, because Goku's base form starts out as 76.5 million times that of Goku vs Kid Buu. But it doesn't stop there, because in the Super 17 Saga, Goku gets far stronger again in base form, and the Shadow Dragon Saga is the cherry on the cake. Goku's base form reaches a monstrous power of 7 octillion times stronger than Kid Buu vs Super Saiyan 3 Goku. His ultra full power Super Saiyan 4 is 47 duodecillion times that of Kid Buu vs Goku, and then finally Goku reaches his change state. And this should tell you something about the Dragon Ball community. There are many fans out there that don't know what the hell change state Goku actually is. They didn't watch GT, they thought he was just throwing a spirit bomb. And just to quickly brush through some GT transformation multipliers, the Golden Uzaru multiplier, through scaling it was calculated to be 450,000 times from base. In order to catch up to Baby, the true Super Saiyan 4 multiplier is not 10 times Super Saiyan 3, it's 6.3 trillion. And if you've been here since part 1, you'll know why exactly it is 6.3 trillion and makes hell of a lot of sense. The change state multiplier in itself is 4.5 quadrillion at bare minimum. We do not know how far that power goes. And the Dragon Fist attack multiplier is 1.3 quadrillion. Yes, GT Goku is an absolute broken monster. Goku's base growth in GT's 1.5 years roughly of story is a 34.9 septillion times increase in just base form. Now when it comes to Great Ape Baby vs Super Saiyan 4 Goku, in the first round it's mentioned by the old Kai that Goku has the edge in speed, but Baby has the edge in power. Now this is extremely inconsistent in the fight because you get both of them overpowering each other in different ways, to the point Goku can literally, with raw power, bust out of Baby's hold and throw him around the planet. Plus the two eventually knock each other out to a draw. So yeah, slapping a power multiplier on either of these to make them greater than each other is messy and unreliable. So it's in the best interest for everyone watching that we place Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Great Ape Baby in the same bracket of power and relative to each other. Because later on, Goku obtains a level called Super Full Power Saiyan 4 and is way stronger than Grade 8 Baby, so whatever power he's using to fight Baby in the beginning is not a true representation of what Super Full Power Saiyan 4 is. Some like to think Full Power Saiyan 4 is literally Super Saiyan 4 at full power, where he was never full power to begin with in the fight. Some like to think it's just Goku breaking his Super Saiyan 4 limits and reaching a new grade of Super Saiyan 4 that has a larger multiplier. Some like to think Goku had a Super Zenkai boost once he's healed because he's Super Saiyan 4. There's a lot of theories. Not even the show explains it that well. So for the purpose of this video, and again for the sake of the viewers, I'll just be giving Super Full Power Saiyan 4 its own multiplier from the same base power of Goku, because it's stated by Goku himself that he wants to return to full power, meaning only replenishing what's been lost throughout the fight. Why it gets so much stronger, I'll leave that part up to you. GT makes no sense. Now, after Baby and Super Saiyan 4 Goku are knocked out in the first round, Baby receives the Brute Waves and gets restored back to 100%. There is no additional power up, nothing is stated. He literally goes back to full power and crushes the weakened Goku, who at this point would stand no chance. But sometime after, Goku receives a power up from Trunks, Gohan, Goten, and Pan, requesting their power in order to go Super Full Power Saiyan 4. Now, how can these four replenish Goku if Super Saiyan 4 is leagues above them in terms of scaling? Well, it's simple. All the others do is provide power for Goku to replenish his base power to 100%. If the base is 100%, any form a character has just magnifies it. We have to remember, Super Saiyan forms, including 4, is a cloak of power over a base form. What you see isn't the true person, but rather a magnification of the base power with a visual change. So the Super Saiyan power of everyone is converted and projected to Goku to use to replenish his base form underneath Super Saiyan 4, where Super Saiyan 4 then multiplies it. There's no way in hell Gohan, Trunks, Goten, and Pan equal Super Saiyan 4 in terms of power. So the way I just said is the best way to understand them healing Goku. And get this, the combined maximum power of Super Saiyan Trunks, Goten, Gohan, and Base Pan is nearly the same as it was when they provided their power to Baby previously. We just swap out Buller and Pan, which doesn't make that much difference. Let's get over to the real power of Super Full Power Saiyan 4. Baby launches this attack at Goku. There is no pushback or struggle debates in this situation. Goku enters the raw power of the final Revenge Death Ball and does more than tank the attack. He soaks up the attack and absorbs it after bathing in its own power. He required no beam struggle to cancel the blast. He did it with his raw body, making him at least 2 times the Super Revenge Death Ball's power for doing more than a basic tank. We could go even higher, but let's keep it at ×2. This is what you wanted, Ultra Full Power Saiyan 4. Finally, after Sin squashes Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the rest of the warriors show up to help Goku fight against Sin Shenron. Trunks, Gohan, Goten help Goku reach a new level of power, performing a similar ritual as they did when Goku fought Baby, only this time they give all their power to Goku. Now, I don't have to remind you of how much stronger Goku's base form is right now, far above Baby Saga levels. So in order for Super Saiyan Trunks, Super Saiyan Gohan, Super Saiyan Goten to refuel Goku's base body and then give him even more than his current base power must mean Super Saiyan Goten, Trunks, and Gohan's combined power in Super Saiyan is at least the level of base Goku, which if you think about it, that's a pretty monstrous power-up for those three. We'll calculate their plot-convenient power-ups after this. So how the hell does Ultra Full Power Saiyan 4 work? There are so many questions regarding this level of Super Saiyan 4. Does Goku's base just grow past its previous limit, so Super Saiyan 4 is naturally stronger when the multiplier is added? Or does Goku reach a new level of Super Saiyan 4, similar to Super Saiyan grades? The transformation itself does indeed imply something is different in Goku, like he's a turbocharged Super Saiyan 4, but it could also be for cinematic purposes. But it's clear he's still just a Super Saiyan 4, just insanely stronger. The power-up scene in itself is interesting. Goku, while still in base form, is stated to be at full power by Gohan and the others. Now, it must be noted, they give all of their power to Goku and he's still in base form, and then he transforms. So it's clear they strengthened his base form first to new levels, thus making Ultra Full Power Saiyan 4 still just 100% Super Saiyan, but a much stronger Goku. How much stronger did Goku get? Well, Super Saiyan 4 Goku is able to dominate Sin Shenron. He dodges Sin like crazy, blocks him, and is able to completely overpower him. However, Goku cannot fully tank Sin, so he's not 2 times stronger, but he's got a very high domination multiplier. So 1.75 times Sin's power is a reliable number to use for Goku's new level of power. Goku has an insane ability, it's a hack. You see, despite Omega's clear raw power advantage, he uses the Absorb Dragon's techniques on Goku. Dragon Thunder, all that craziness. Goku is not hurt by it. He explains that once that ability has been used on him, it doesn't work again. This is proven in his fight with Ice Shenron. When Ice went to freeze him again, Goku's body instantly reacted and put up a shield barrier to protect itself, without Goku even doing anything by command. This is literally what Ultra Instinct is by concept, except it actually cancels out the opponent's abilities completely. So yes, this is a hack Super Saiyan 4 Goku has, and another one that many just ignore. To be honest, maybe even base Goku has it because he mentions the same thing to Frieza and Cell when he whipped their candy asses in hell. Very powerful feat where stronger abilities don't even hurt him. So the only way to beat him is literally beat the monkey's ass with stronger raw attacks, in hoping he doesn't get a Zenkai boost later on. Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the Baby Saga of Dragon Ball GT has more ki than Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta in the Future Trunks arc of Dragon Ball Super, the manga, not the anime, and that's very important. When it comes to the Dragon Ball Super manga, there was a point where Trunks was in a pickle on who to heal to fight Merge Zamasu. Supreme Kai clearly states that Trunks is only able to restore one person as powerful as Super Saiyan Blue. So that implies, for a fighter to use Super Saiyan Blue with 100% power once again after being beat down, Trunks can restore and recover all of that power only once. So that's a good landmark. Now we have to realize healing ability is not governed by level of power. Just because in the manga Trunks was able to power up to a very strong Super Saiyan 2 doesn't mean he would transform into a Super Saiyan 2 just to start healing. It wouldn't change his healing potential if he were in base or a Super Saiyan 2. His healing ability is passive whichever form he's in, but he obviously does it in base. Also, Dende, that little squirt on Namek, he was no fighter. He would have had trouble against the farmer with a shotgun, but he was running around healing left, right and center in the fight against Frieza. Point being, power doesn't equate to healing potential. Trunks is an apprentice just like Kibito. To say either of them is a better healer than each other would be headcanon, but if we were going to go with the better healer, Trunks or Kibito, my goodness. Surely we could use headcanon for this. No matter the level of power, we would highly go with Kibito based on his experience as a healer alone. This was one of Trunks' first attempts at going for a full-on heal, so an inexperienced healer Trunks was able to fully heal Goku and restore the ki needed for Super Saiyan Blue. Now this is where it gets really interesting. Kibito and Supreme Kai in Dragon Ball Z fused with the Potara, and in the Dragon Ball GT continuity, they continued to remain as Kibito Kai. Now back then, before the Dragon Ball Super manga introduced only apprentices have the healing technique, and retcon things like it always does, Kibito Kai back in the day did have the healing ability, and it was heavily implied that he could heal people. Now think about this for a moment. Dragon Ball GT is the continuation of the Z anime. Kibito in the anime was a damn good healer, and after he fused with the Supreme Kai, he gains even more expertise and potential because he's got Kibito's tools too. Not necessarily the power to make him a stronger healer, but just overall essence, wisdom, magic, and life force to generate a stronger healing potential. Even if we don't consider that, we still have the healing potential of Kibito alone, which is very likely more efficient than future Trunks in the manga of Dragon Ball Super, who was still a novice at it. A veteran healer Kibito would have no trouble restoring the power of Super Saiyan Blue in the manga. Either way, when we get to Dragon Ball GT, Super Saiyan 4 Goku is out for the count against Baby, pretty much depleted and beat down just before Baby gets the supercharged Brutes waves to restore his own power. In an urgent matter, Kibito Kai was ready to go and heal Goku. And remember, this was when it was implied back in the day that he could heal. But the old Kai stops Kibito Kai in his tracks and says the following explosive statement about Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the Baby Saga. "You don't have the kind of power it would take to revive Super Saiyan 4 Goku." And this is a really important piece of dialogue to gauge how much ki and power the form of Super Saiyan 4 actually has within, and how much healing is needed to restore it. Before someone says the old Kai was referring to power as in the ability to heal in general, that's complete nonsense because like I said, back then it was always incited throughout GT, and even during the Kid Buu fight, the Kibito Kai could heal, and to further back that up, the old Kai even informs Kibito Kai to go and heal Trunks and the others instead, and not to worry about Super Saiyan 4 Goku because he couldn't do that. So it's a definite ability Kibito Kai had back then. Now like I said, just because he fused doesn't make his healing better than Kibito alone. But if you had to put any sort of bet on who is the better healer out of Kibito Kai and Trunks from the manga, you simply have to choose Kibito Kai because of his experience, wisdom, magical expertise, similar to Dende's healing, and then the life essence of being both two entities in the fusion, not just one. this far surpasses future Trunks, who was a novice, and despite what you want to argue about his power level, that makes no difference to his healing, as I said, Dende. So if Trunks can only restore the power of one Super Saiyan Blue, at that point in the future Trunks saga, a mastered Super Saiyan Blue I might add, yet a more stronger veteran healer in Kibito Kai, does not have what it takes to revive a Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Even if we wanted to lowball Kibito's healing on his own, and said it was equal to Trunks' healing ability as an apprentice, that doesn't change the fact that Trunks and Kibito have the level of healing power to revive Super Saiyan Blue, but not Super Saiyan 4. And that clearly tells us Super Saiyan 4 Goku in the Baby Saga has far more ki and power than Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta against Merge Zamasu in the manga. Thank you for watching today, scholars, and I'll see you in the next dimension.